Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon, and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. And as always, thank you for all your support, including sharing, chatting, liking, and subscribing. Now roll that famous logo animation. Good evening and welcome back to Computerized Start Live. I'm your host, Justin D. Morgan, and it is a night to work on the Kaypro. I see we have Joe's Computer Museum. Woot! Yes, indeed, Joe. It's an 8-bit machine on the counter, or on the bench, or whatever you call it. We have Sorcerer Stan. We have 1-Bit Fever Dreams. We have Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack. We have Thomas Armstrong. Yes, do make sure you have plenty of coffee, Thomas. And we have Frank S. Yes. And I have a chip from eBay. So hopefully it won't be yet another item I bought from the place that I regret everything, or almost everything I buy there. But yes, I had some good feedback after the last Kaypro stream, so I thought I would go ahead and give it another whirl. See here, any other channel announcements? Oh yes, I'll be streaming Thursday. That one will be a Macintosh stream to give the Mac fans an evening where they can tune in. Oh yes, if you haven't seen my latest Instagram picture, I took a photo of some capacitors that I removed from something that you've seen on the channel before a couple of times. Hey Trina, welcome. And I have to say their name brand was off point for a global audience. Although in some ways, it very accurately described one of the capacitors in Spanish, because it had an ESR of 26 ohms. Somehow it still measured 10 microfarads, but 26 ohms. All the others were like 2 to 3 ohms, which I think is normal for that small of a capacitor, although maybe a bit high. But yeah, yes, that was fun. That was actually for a segment for a scripted video, so that's why no one's seen it yet. Yes, Joe immediately got it, although he probably saw my Instagram post. Yes, Nova. They were Nova brand, or Nova, as in not going in Spanish, or something like that. No go, not going, doesn't go. Yes, just like when Chevy released the Chevy Nova to Latin America. Yes, that is exactly the kind of name you want to give a car in Latin America, where Nova means not going. Doesn't go. Yes. Yes. Wonderful name for things that should go when you're trying to sell in Latin American countries. Yes. All right. But seriously, the Nova brand and they were 85 degrees C to boot. So I replaced them with these nice Rubicons, which I believe are 105 degrees C rated. They're low ESR, and they're actually at least half the size of the old capacitors. And they're probably at least twice as good. Yes, Jeremy is pointing out the Nova did still sell in Latin America, but maybe it wasn't the best name. Yes. For parts... Yeah, the 4 parts are not working out. Oh, Jeremy's pointing out my things I buy on eBay that I regret. The 4 parts are not working. Apple IIc should not be one of my regrets. No, Jeremy, that's one of the not regrets. That, at least, yeah, that one of my not regrets, that actually worked. that actually worked pretty much perfectly, and the only thing I had to do to it was add the mod that Apple did to make sure your serial ports were stable. Also, other things I haven't regretted buying on eBay are the Performance 600 and, well, not many things else. So some of the chips I've bought are good. So like some of the upgrade parts, but like some of the computers, like for example, this Kaypro here. I'm hoping it doesn't become one of the things I regretted buying on eBay. Because, well, I bought it on eBay, and it definitely didn't work. So, hey Ryan, everything is broken garage. Ryan is asking me, did I see these Swiss fellows selling 26 Kaypros today on Vintage Computer Marketplace? Yes, I did. And I scrolled right on past because I can buy Kaypros on eBay cheaper than that. Granted, they're not new in box. In fact, they're even better than new in box in some cases. They're broken not in a box, but they're much cheaper than what it would cost me to get one of those Swiss ones here to the States. You should know, one reason why I regret things I buy on eBay is I buy like the lowest priced version. Hence all the Trident video cards and the broken computers and the monitors that UPS keeps drop kicking. And yeah, I don't want the special edition Chrome Kaypro 10. I'd rather have another. I've got my eye on another Kaypro on eBay that I would like to rescue, and your coffee tips do help me rescue computers. But yeah, I've got my eye on a different Kaypro. It's actually like a Kaypro 2X, if I'm not mistaken. eBay parts from China are regrets. Yeah. This didn't come from China. This came from upstate New York. Although, before it got to upstate New York, maybe it did come from China, so maybe I might regret it. But we'll see here in a moment. This will be like probably one of the quickest repair things I've done. Anyways. Okay, Ryan. Now I know you're just poking fun, because I'm pretty sure Trident didn't make video cards when the Kaypro was brand new. No, I don't think I want a Kaypro with a Trident video card. I'm actually almost pretty much done with Trident video cards. Because, let's see here, of all those Trident video cards that I've bought off eBay, like, I don't think, actually, let's see, of the ones I bought on eBay, I don't think any of them work. I'm now, double checking my notes here. Let's see here. Yes, of all the Trident video cards I bought on eBay, none of them work. So, alright, so this chip that I just removed is the floppy disk controller that I determined is likely faulty last week. On last Tuesday. If my camera will focus, actually, I probably just got to zoom in. So this is a WDC, Western Digital Corporation, FD1793B-02, made in 83, week 6. That'd be February. And I will be replacing it with a... Well, I do not believe this is a Western Digital, because that does kind of look like that might be Fairchild. FD1793B-02, made in 1980, week 43. So even earlier. There's more on the bottom of the chip. So it was made in Malaysia. Okay, now this is interesting, though. Yeah, it was shipped in the socket to protect it, although it's really not, well, this pinless socket, if anyone was noticing it, seemed to have no pins. Okay, so anyways, on the, looks like this was made by the same manufacturer as this chip. So the new one's on the left, the old one's on the right. Well, they have some of the same markings on the bottom. Fairchild or Fuji, yeah, it's hard to tell. The manufacturer mark seems to be smudged. I do find it interesting, though. This seems to be a plastic. This seems to be plastic, but it looks like they put the chip in place and then glued a top and bottom on it. Kind of interesting. Anyways, there's the old and the new for comparison. So let's see what happens. So this is actually the only chip I bought. If this doesn't work, then, well, this is going to be a really interesting stream. Alright, so, the new floppy controller up, and because of Zoom, you couldn't see that. Well, anyways, the new floppy controller is in the Kaypro. They get hot. Okay. Oh, okay. I bet that connects. Well. Alright. Let's see here. So I need to plug this in. And I need to fire up Droid Cam because that's the only way I'm going to be able to show you what happens. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Someone's telling me 3 of 5 solders working actually did. Oh, Jeremy, I your comment scrolled off my screen. Yeah, I think Jeremy's about right on point. Jeremy says UPS, FedEx, USPS doesn't drop kick packages. They position them in front of delivery vehicle and punt them at 100 miles an hour to the destination front door. Yeah, sometimes I feel like that is about the truth. So, Thomas is telling me 3 of 5 sold this working actually did. If he's talking about the Trident video cards, for some reason they're all in my scrap bin. The Trident cards that actually worked, or that I was able to get working, came from L&Y Electronics in Woodbridge, Virginia. From VCF East, consignment. From Thomas Armstrong, because he sent me a board to build. And, Tin. Tin Gwyn? I don't know how to say his name. On one of the Facebook marketplaces. He's in Canada. So those are the Trident cards that I have that are actually working. Oh, ATI cards. Okay. Yeah, all the Trident cards I've bought off eBay have, like, just flat out, they don't work. There's something wrong with them. In fact, actually, I'm going to probably take one of them and desolder all the parts off of it and try to figure out if there's, like, some component that degraded over time. But yeah, the Trident cards that are still in my keep pile, and if anyone's wondering what I'm doing, I just realized I got to plug the A drive back in. Yeah, yes, the 8-bit boards work great. They're just slow. The Trident 9000i I got from VCF East consignment. Hey, Ron. Yes, the classic JDM look. Yeah, the 9000i card that came in the computer I bought at consignment at VCF East, it works. It works actually pretty good. Yeah, and the one I built and the one from L&Y Electronics. The one I got from Tin, the video signal's a little noisy, but I think if I can figure out what component's gone out of spec, I might be able to fix it. I think there might be a capacitor, even though there's no electrolytics on the board. I think there might be a tantalum on that video card that maybe has gone shorted. So I'm wondering if maybe or if, like, one of the filter caps is maybe needs replaced. But anyways, I'll have to look at that one. I may look at that one on Dave's stream. So, all right, so let me see here. Let me fire up Droid Cam. One of these days I will install the plugin into OBS Studio. But until then, I will see that Droid Cam is showing me advertisements on my phone screen. Which is really annoying. Oh, and they're also bugging me to upgrade to Pro, of course. Of course. I guess they want their cut of the money. Cut of the money. Oh, I guess I will have to investigate how much the Pro version costs. All right. Let's see here. So, I've got Droid Cam. Hello, everyone. All right. I guess what we're looking for is the floppy drive. Well, first, I guess what we're looking for is the floppy controller. Is it just going to like go up in a puff of smoke? And then I'll really quickly pan to the floppy drives. But first, I'll say hi to Sloopy. Sloopy is in the chat. All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's good. The floppy controller did not go up in smoke. All right, we have the boot prompt. And the A drive is not constantly spinning. Now, if I put a floppy disk in the A drive, now this is a blank disk. In fact, actually, it might be a potentially scratched blank disk. If I close the door, is this going to try to boot? Bet I need to hit a key on the keyboard. No beep. Well, I didn't hear a beep. I also don't know if there's a speaker in here. I don't see a speaker. All right. But that's actually that's a good sign. So the good sign is the floppy drive isn't constantly spinning. Of course, I guess I do want to double check that. Did I actually plug the floppy drive in? Okay. Let me double check that the floppy drive is plugged in. Okay, I did plug power. I plugged the signal in. I did put the jumper. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I put the jumper block back on it. Okay. Are Kaypros supposed to beep? Because I do not see a speaker in this Kaypro. That is not to say that there's not a speaker like under the CRT. Well, wait a minute. No, there's probably not a speaker under the CRT. That would be an awful place for it. I don't think there's one under the floppy drives. That would also kind of be an awful place for it. I don't know that there's a speaker in here. No, they don't beep. Okay. Oh, the keyboard beeps when you press keys. It's in the keyboard. All right. Well, then. Okay. Thank you for clarifying. All right. Well, there's something we have to do then before I can try to continue. All right. Well, everyone's saying it's under the keyboard, it's in the keyboard, it's through the keyboard, it's around the keyboard. Well, let me get the keyboard. There it is. All right. The other half of the keyboard is still on the shelf. So yes, I spent all of the month of May on this Kaypro trying to get the power supply to work, to get it at the end of the month, which gave me no time to even look at the keyboard. And there's an important reason why I kind of need to look at the keyboard. And that is because how filthy it is. Well, I don't know why it would beep every key press, other than it might be beeping every key press to tell me how filthy dirty it is. I just want to take a... Okay. Yes. I think I am going to need to repair before I can plug the cable in, because I do not believe the cable is going to stay connected to that. Well, that cable most certainly won't, because this is the original cable, and both ends are green, and the plastic is falling apart. So, yeah. We are not going to use that cable. Luckily, thanks to the VCF East forums, I ordered a replacement keyboard cable. And the thing is, this is a cable that the VCF East forums says should be compatible. It is actually a 26 gauge cable and low resistance, which is the important thing for the keyboard. Hey, John's here. Yes. 1 bit. The keys do nothing, it's just cosmetic, and what you're doing is Morse code over a copper wire to your destination. Yeah, that one's good. Okay, let me at least get this keyboard settled enough so that I can plug it in. And I guess, yes, maybe the quickest thing to do is to just simply tape the keyboard connector in place. Okay. Green is good if it's algae. Well, it's not... Well, I don't think it's algae. I think it's copper corrosion. All right. Here's how I'm going to fix this for now. First, I'm going to clean the contacts. There, now I got contacts. Now I'm going to let that dry for a moment while I locate an appropriate tape. Oh, so many choices. So I can pick masking tape. I have gaffer's tape. And I have captain tape. And as much as I would like captain tape to come to the rescue, I think I'm going to use masking tape because it's cheaper. Because this is just going to come right off. Okay. And yeah, I'll have to move the computer back. Hey, Eric! Welcome! Alright. There we go. I think I plugged that in, even though it didn't latch. And... the other reason I'm using the masking tape is because it's green. And that way, if this proves to be a really unpopular move, I can green screen it out. Use my fancy After Effects skills to composite in a intact jack. Yeah, ha ha ha. Replace the floppy drives with Gotex and move on. Well, Joe, I'd love to do that on this machine, but they're full height drives, and I have yet to find a Gotek adapter doodle that will adapt the half height Gotek to a full height drive that looks halfway decent. Hey, SadMac356. Maybe I haven't looked hard enough. Maybe I'm extremely picky. Yeah, 3D. Well, Joe, there's the first problem. I've yet to finish putting my 3D printer together. The second problem is I don't know if I'm patient enough to actually draw one in CAD software. Oh, but I might be able to if I put my mind to it. I mean, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind designing something, but finding the time, and I'd like to get this put together. But anyways, for now, I'm just going to have to deal with floppy drives because I don't even have the card edge brackets to plug a GoTech into this because I'm not taking the computer apart that has them. The TRS-80 Model 3. Why in the world didn't show up when I searched the web for full height GoTech adapter? I've got the Creality, something or other. The reason why I haven't finished putting it together is because I need parts. Because I tried to do an upgrade while putting it together and ended up breaking something. And then ended up realizing that the adapter wasn't compatible. And I broke the original piece. And the Z drive is bindy. And why in the world will this cable not plug in? I gotta order some. I don't want a drawer under the drive. I don't really want a drawer. Kaypros didn't have a drawer to begin with. This is my first Kaypro. You wonder why in the world I'm stubborn when I only have one of something. It's because I like the first one to look as factory as possible, unless there's like extenuating circumstances. And as far as I know, these drives actually work. The second one is something I'm more apt to upgrade it to some reasonable extent. But this is my only Kaypro. Hey, any bit fever dreams? The drawer would be, well, Jeremy, thumb drives are big enough that I only see the need to have one thumb drive for the GoTech. And I feel dumb that I cannot plug in this phone adapter. Oh. While not looking at the connector because I had it upside down the whole time. Yes. I had it upside down. There we go. I got plugged in. Or would be for thumb drives. Well, honestly, I get a big one thumb drive and put all the images on it and scroll and inevitably not. Unfortunately, I wish I could figure out how you eject an image on the GoTech. I mean, like, eject it so that you leave the USB thumb drive in, but the image is ejected. Not just like you're stuck in the menu. Anyways, okay, I've got the keyboard plugged in. I got the keyboard on my keyboard drawer. This is conversion technology. It's plugged in. I got power on. All right, let's see what happens. Find the power switch. All right. So well, caps lock works. Yeah, on the GoTech. There's I thought somehow on the GoTech, I thought you were supposed to be able to eject the disk image so that there's no image in the drive. But yeah, Joe, we'd like a tease. Okay, so I do hear the speaker. I think I hear the speaker. Is there like some key? Does anyone know Kaypro enough to know what I'm supposed to do? Huh. If the Kaypro is working, there'll be text on the screen. Well, there is text on the screen. Oh. Did the stream out of embarrassment there. Sorry, I forgot to. So if I hit keys, I hear the speaker. Am I like? Yeah, I've never used a Kaypro. I don't know if there's like a key you're supposed to hit to get it to boot or what. Also, interestingly enough, if I like reset it or power it up, the B drive light comes on, but not the A drive light, which tells me maybe I need to check that I put the jumper pack back on the A drive. All right. Let's check the. All right, let me check the floppy drive. I might have. No, they're not reversed, Jeremy. I definitely know they're not reversed because I have them labeled A and B. I definitely know B is the bottom one because it's labeled on the front, and I know I put a B one back in. And I only pulled the jumper block off of A. Oh, I may have forgotten to connect the ground lead to this drive. I wonder how important that was. Oh, let me see here. Oh, I did something incredibly stupid. All right, I'm sure Joe or someone's probably going to notice what I did that's incredibly stupid. We'll see if anyone happens to notice here. I'll fill you in a moment. And no, I didn't put the wrong drive. So this is the this is the A drive. So before anyone says nope, I put the A drive in the wrong place. This is the A drive. And you're on the right track, Jeremy. No, it's not a missing IC. Joe is also on the correct track. Joe, the Terminator is on the B drive. And the Terminator pack is there. I see it. You all are close. No, I'm not running single drive. I had the B drive is installed and cabled and powered. So no, the chain is terminated. No, you all are close. This is subtle, and I'm trying to find my chip lifter to fix it. Yes, I just gave you a clue. Justin did a dumb, as Joe would say. This is what happens when you put jumper blocks back on drives at 12:30 a.m. in the morning. All right, I'm waiting for Apple to release the AirTags Tool Edition so that you can put an AirTag on all of your hand tools. They're small, lightweight. They don't take much space. They're comfortable to hold. They maybe act as an extra hand grip. And most importantly, you can then say, hey, Flurbnurb, where did I set down my chip lifter? And she'll say, you set your chip lifter down 2 meters to your left. And I'll say, well, I am in the US. Speak imperial units to me. And she'll probably snarkily reply, well, then why did you turn on the British voice? But unfortunately, Apple didn't announce. Oh, and it was sitting beside me the entire time. Yeah. Unfortunately, Apple didn't release those during WWDC. No, the thing that I did, I put the jumper block where the Terminator pack goes. Yeah, I did an oopsie. I realized that just as soon as I looked at the B drive and realized where the Terminator pack was that I had, yeah. So yes, this drive was not jumpered as anything. And it probably was messing with the bus, too. So, alright. Take 2, I guess. Let me put the floppy drive back in. Yes. Jumper was in the wrong socket. Oh, no, I had the cable connected, and all the cables are connected. Alright, I really should probably put this... Hold on. Let me put a... Alright. Alright, I'm going to attempt to put a screw to hold... Well, I can't do that. Okay. I'm having trouble with the motherboard wanting to fall out. But the reason why I don't have any screws in the motherboard is because I didn't do a very good job of taking it apart, and I don't remember which screws go where. And that's not the screw I need. Hold, please. I'm just trying to find a screw that will fit the standoff on the motherboard, because I would like to... It keeps falling, and I don't want to have to get it life alert. There we go. Oh, hey, K-Mac. All right. There we go. Okay, got the power cable back on. I'm trying to find the where the ground goes. I did also forget to connect the ground that time, but I don't know if that's as important as the having it correctly configured. Ground probably is important, though. Alright. Yes, word to the wise, when taking apart a Kaypro, have multiple things to put your screws in, keep them organized, and Yeah. All right. So now they're at the floppy drive in, and it's doing the exact same thing. Yeah, I think that drive's just spinning, and I'm not sure it's supposed to do that. Granted, well, it's hard to see. I don't know if this drive scratched the disk, but okay. I don't really know. Oh, and you can't see because I forgot to do that. That's what it was doing last week with the old floppy drive controller. Will it keep spinning looking for a disk? Oh, well, there's one thing we'll have to do to give it a disk. All right. Hey, Adam, welcome. Well, apparently, when I worked on this last Tuesday, I didn't have the right people in the chat. Because I thought the fact that the floppy drive kept spinning meant that there was a fault with the floppy controller. Because most computers don't just keep spinning waiting for a disk, because it's impossible to insert the disk into a drive when it just keeps spinning. Yeah. Well, I know they didn't put the BASIC in a ROM, but most computers at the time would, if it doesn't have the disk, it would spin, and then see there's no disk, and it would stop, and it would prompt you to put a disk in and press a key, or put a disk in and press reset. Yeah, I know it doesn't have any built-in software, but most computers will stop spinning the drive so you can actually put the disk in without it getting scratched due to the spinning drive. Which maybe is a sign that there is something out of alignment in this drive, but it's really hard to get a disk in while it's spinning without the disk touching the hub. Most computers aren't the wonderfulness of the Kaypro. Well, Joe, I wish you were here last Tuesday. You would have saved me however much I spent on a new floppy controller chip, when apparently there was nothing wrong with my floppy controller chip. The entire problem was I didn't realize how the silly thing worked. Yeah. Okay. Well, Justin bought a new floppy controller chip for nothing and now feels incredibly dumb. Okay, well, in order to make a disk, I gotta move the Kaypro off the bench. So that I can put a different computer on the bench. Not because this computer can make a disk, but because this computer has the correct floppy drive to plug in my grease weasel to make a disk. Alright. Okay, yes, everyone's telling me to insert the disk before powering it up. However, it seems like every other time I insert disks into vintage computers before powering it up, everyone tells me, don't do that, it'll erase the disk. So, you're telling me that Kaypro doesn't erase the disk if you put it in before you power it up. Because the TRS-80 will, from what I've been told. So, yeah. Well, Sloopy, I don't really like buying expensive parts like that just to put on the parts pile. So, especially when I'm running low on other supplies. And instead, I bought a floppy drive controller. So, yeah, that's why I'm feeling bad, is because I'm running low on other supplies. And I bought a floppy controller because I wanted to get the thing finished. So, yeah, well, Sorcerer Stan, I don't know if it's a problem with the disc I have, but it sure seemed like something on the disc was touching the hub, and I can't tell if it was the magnetic media or the jacket or what. So maybe it was just the jacket of the disc touching the hub. So okay. Well, I think I've been corrected. So Adam says the only computer that you shouldn't insert media at power up is the Atom. Good to know. All right. So, what computer do I have on the bench? Well, this is the Emerson 8000 EC. It has half-height floppy drives. And the reason why I even bothered to pull this out is because I need to plug one of these into a grease weasel, and then I can write a CPM disk. Or I hope I can write a CPM disk. So, alright. It's also going to require me to find a disk, but I figured if the right people were in the chat, someone would probably recommend a disk image to use. Also, I'm not entirely sure these disk drives work. Well, I guess there's no time like the present to test them. Alright. Also, let's see here. Well, that's a Oh, there's a terminated. Well, alright. I guess I'll use the A drive. Eric, you start at 9, and I'll make do. Because I'm probably about to, I'm probably about to go down a rabbit hole of trying to write floppy images. So, you scheduled your stream at 9. I don't know who scheduled first. You start your stream at 9, and I'll, I'm not going to stream till midnight tonight, Jeremy, unless I get convinced to do it. This was mainly I'd wanted to try to get the Kaypro to work, because I thought when I started an hour ago, yay, I have a new floppy controller chip, that'll fix the entire problem, and honestly, I kind of, probably a few minutes ago, wanted to end the stream in embarrassment, because that was nowhere near the cause of the problem. Yes, I've been too busy to read the Kaypro manual that I haven't bothered to look for, because I've been too busy to even have time to read that, along with everything else I have to do. So, yeah. I would presume if I read the Kaypro manual, I would have seen that I was going in the wrong direction. Anyways. Alright. Let's see if I can figure out. Of course, the thing is, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to write this disk image on this computer. No, Thomas. Oh wait. Did I check the electrolytic caps on the motor controller? No, I haven't looked. The only caps I looked at on the floppy drive are the The ones that the tantalums that were shorted. No, Eric, don't feel obligated to delay on my behalf. You start your stream when you plan to start it. It wouldn't be the first time that I'm conflicting with other streamers. Yeah, be sure to smash that like button before you go watch Eric's stream. Okay. This is the boring part where I realize that I have nothing on this computer for using a grease weasel, because last time I tried using the grease weasel on this computer, I couldn't. Although I think I figured out why. I don't think it had anything to do with the fact that I was streaming at the time I tried to use it. I think it had everything to do with the fact that I plugged the grease weasel into a USB 3 port. So I've plugged it into a USB 2 port this time. Or at least I think it's the USB 2 port on the front panel. Okay. I'll know in a moment. So let me download the grease weasel software. And let's see here. Extract all. Oh, you know, I guess I do need to turn on the computer so I have power to the floppy drive. Okay. So I've got a floppy drive. It's getting powered by the power supply in the computer because I don't have one of those external power adapters. And I'll move this to this shared screen here as soon as I launch it. Oops. Did I run the wrong program? Wait a minute. Grease Weasel. Aw, that's the wrong program. I wanted the GUI. Hold please while I try to remember where you download the GUI tools, because I am not about to try to use this command line. That is not the stress I need right now. That is Grease Weasel test board. No, that's not it. Grease Weasel firmware. Flash floppy. Oh. That doesn't seem right. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm not keeping up with the chat because Joe. Okay, let me catch up on chat. Joe, the problem is I do not have a edge connector to plug the Gotek in with, because the floppy cables on the Kaypro have an edge connector. Oh, I just had someone subscribe and didn't realize. Oh, and Joe's telling me to use a different cable. All right. Okay. Okay, now I'm confused because my brain is going in two different directions. Okay. No, Joe, I can do this. No, the reason I'm confused is because I didn't realize I had a subscriber notification thing enabled, because that's Twitch, I thought. And due to Twitch's latest terms of service, changes, I won't be streaming on Twitch anytime soon. If ever again. However, if that actually was a YouTube subscription notification, welcome. That's why I'm confused, just because I didn't, I thought I'd turned off the subscriber notification in OBS because I didn't realize that that integration worked with YouTube. So, and yeah, basically the latest Twitch terms of service changes are, basically Twitch now says you can't multicast. So you you can stream to Twitch, you can stream to other services. And that's not the only change they did, but yeah. I mean, it used to be on Twitch, if you were in the Twitch partner program, you couldn't multi-stream. But in that case, you've signed an agreement with Twitch that you're going to exclusively stream on Twitch, and you have to meet the thresholds. So, but now they've changed the terms of service that no one can multi-stream. So, yeah. Yeah, now you can't. Now, no one can. But I haven't streamed to Twitch since April because I had 0 viewers on Twitch. I mean, technically, Twitch told me I had 1 viewer every stream, but I didn't. I think it was a phantom viewer. Because it's like, I never saw anyone in the Twitch chat, and it was like, they told me I had 1 viewer while I was live, but then when I go back after the stream and look at the stats, they tell me I had 0 viewers. Or I'd have like 1 viewer for like a really small amount of time. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. It's like they're telling me while I live I have a viewer to keep me streaming, but the moment I end and see the real stats for the Twitch stream, I had like, it's basically, I don't think that I had no one for most of the stream on Twitch, so I just stopped. Also, right before I stopped streaming to Twitch, I was having stream reliability problems that I tracked down to. It was actually the multi-stream service I was using. So yeah, the multi-streaming service was adding to the unreliability. Yeah, I think Twitch might have just shot themselves in the foot. Yeah, you can't at all multi-stream. So, oh, hey Joey, welcome. Oh, okay, maybe that. Okay, I think Joey was the subscriber that showed up. Okay, maybe that does work with YouTube. I thought it didn't. Okay, so Joe has convinced me to use a GoTech, which is going to confuse the gajibers out of me because you can't terminate a GoTech. Okay, we'll give this a try. So, yeah, oh yeah, don't stream from 5G when you have cable and fiber available. Exactly. Yeah, I streamed to Twitch and it just never went anywhere. And the thing is, on Twitch, you have to have like 50 subscribers to join the partner program. Subscribers being like, on Twitch, the subscriber is actually a paid thing. So people have to pay to subscribe to your channel. I don't know at what level they actually let people subscribe to your channel. It probably starts at so many follows, but yeah, I had a total of like 12 followers on Twitch. And I think most of those were from like the first month or 2. So, yeah, I kind of gave up on Twitch. And it seems like, well, just as well, Twitch was going to make these terms of service changes, and it would have forced my hand to quit anyways. So, okay. So I'm going to plug in a GoTech. I'm still going to have to find the floppy image. Oh. I was about to say I'm going to have to go find um you can terminate a GoTech, but it's not documented. Well, okay, well, we'll see what happens. Um, okay. I may. Oh, and therein lies the other problem. Well, okay, I have to try to remember. I knew there was multiple reasons why I didn't want to plug a GoTech in. Okay, I gotta go find a power adapter. Uh, I Thomas, I can't. I don't think I can't use the second GoTech to terminate because the only cable I have I can plug the GoTech into has a twist in it. So I can't use the second floppy drive to terminate because that's I think for the Kaypro I need a non-twisted cable. Because otherwise I gotta figure out what jumpers to set. Unless someone could help me figure out what jumpers to set on a GoTech to undo the twist. Okay, Joe's telling me just plug it in, it'll work. Okay. Okay, I gotta get power adapter. Because I don't, plug the GoTech into the non-twisted thing, set the jumpers on the GoTech, and go. Okay, yeah, Adams. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're gonna do it. I just have to go. I gotta go find a power adapter because that's the other reason why I was trying to create floppy disks. Is I don't. I don't. I gotta go find a power adapter. The real reason why I was trying to use these floppy drives is because I don't have enough. I didn't really have enough stuff to. I didn't think I had enough stuff to actually plug a GoTech into this thing because I'm out of the the flat the edge connector adapters. I thought I was out of Berg power adapters, but I think I just realized I have one upstairs that I vaguely remember seeing while digging through my boxes to ship someone something. So I'm about to go upstairs and get it. Hopefully, it actually was what I thought it was, because otherwise, I gotta go find one in something I can steal. Um, yeah, let me go find the adapter real quick. And okay, I think Adam's telling me to set. Actually, I think it might be jumpered correctly already because I just realized I had this in an Amiga. So I think it's actually jumpered for drive select 0, which is actually, I believe, correct for the Kaypro. So actually, I think we're good. I just need to go get a power adapter. Let me go run upstairs and get that adapter that I think I saw the other day out of the corner of my eye. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And sure enough, I have one adapter left. These are like the worst adapters ever. I do not recommend these adapters because they are so cheaply made, you get to plug them in once. No, I did not buy these off of eBay, surprisingly. In fact, I should have probably returned them to Amazon but I needed them for the stream I bought them for, and then probably should have returned them even after opening them and destroying one of them that first night, but no, I didn't, because I was like, no, certainly the other 4 in the package are decent, and I'll have a better luck with them. No. It seems like I've destroyed every one of these, and you get the... because they're not real Molex connectors. In fact, I don't even think they're the first-tier clone fake Molex connectors. I think they're just cheap garbage. So, anyways, yeah. Yeah, don't get those. They're garbage. Whoops, hold on. I'm losing parts. Anyways, if you're wondering why in the world this floppy drive, this Gotek is on a really weird bracket, this is the one that was in my Amiga 1000, and I'm putting the floppy drive back in it because I don't know. I'm having trouble loading software from Gotek on the Amiga for some strange reason. So I pulled it out so I could put the floppy drive back in and see if maybe I would then be able to run the sysinfo program without it guru meditating like as soon as it loads. Because I don't know if the problem is some timing interaction with loading off a Gotek, because that is there is a timing difference between Gotek and a real floppy drive, but I didn't think sysinfo was that timing sensitive, but I don't know. There may be a chip failing in the Amiga for all I know. Okay. So I just want to power this up and see if this seems to work. Yeah, no, the Amiga's being weird, Adam. Jokingly shocked. Yeah. Is the Zoom floppy still being used, supported, sold? I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, FedEx Express is definitely a different company, Adam. And yes, it is much harder to break something when you only have something for 18 hours or less. Okay, well, it'd probably help if I put an image on a thumb drive. But at least flash floppy. So there's the jumper settings on the Gotek. I believe that's S0 and I don't know what the other one is. All right, and I'm running 3.38, and this is actually one of the ones with the better artery. Oh. And again, I forgot to change the input. I really do need to, like, probably get the plug in. But anyways, yeah. So I got the Gotek in. Oh, the screen turned off. I'm wondering if that's because it finally stopped trying to access the drive. I may need to check the jumper settings. Anyways, all right, let me get some images. All right, so let's see here. Okay. Kaypro 2. Images. Let's see here. Oh, and I think I am going to have to configure the. Here we go. Dave Dunfield's website. I knew I saw them somewhere. Hold on. You can't see that. And neither can I because. Hey, Falcor, welcome. Trying to get a Kaypro to work. Okay, so. All right, I think I want system disks. And Kaypro 2 system disks. That should be correct. And extract all. Oh no, this their IMD format. That's gonna be a problem. Maybe. Yeah, I'm like holding the keyboard because the Kaypro keyboard is on the keyboard drawer. Okay. All right. Flash. I think there's a step I have to do. Okay. Wiki. Host platforms. Kaypro. Okay, so I can convert these to HFE or to IMG. So in the latter case, I'll require the format definitions. All right, well, I'll just convert this to HFE. And sorry, I can't see the chat at the moment. Okay, so in order to convert this to HFE, I need to find the... All right. I gotta find the, I am going to do a video on this at some point because you need it for the TRS-80. It's on my list of videos to do, which is like hopelessly backlogged. Even when I try to make videos faster, I fail at making videos faster. Okay. Load a floppy image. Downloads. Kaypro 2. I'm hoping this first disk is the one I want. And let me see. Export HFE format. Save. Okay. All right. Let me find my thumb drive. According to these instructions, that's the that program was like the HXC floppy emulator program. HFE format is like a raw disk format it, all right, let me see. Edit with, hold on. I'm pretty sure I gotta configure something. I am, hold on. I'm trying to find, I know I need to set a host. I'm pretty sure I need to set a host type. I'm pretty sure if I need to reconfigure it, because right now it's configured for an Amiga, and I am fairly sure that is completely wrong. I think, I think I want to set that Shugart. And I think I want to get rid of, no, I think that setting's fine. Okay, there we go. That should be good. Basically, I've got a ff.config file on this thumb drive. And I changed the interface from Amiga to Shugart. Okay. And this time, I believe I'm still screen sharing. So I got the thumb drive in. And let me see here. Joe, you're a genius. Drives are Tandon IBM standard. Well, Thomas, it didn't have to do with the fact they're IBM standard. It had to do with the interface. And I'm not sure. I sure thought I wanted Shugart because I thought that was basically the it's just a drive. But maybe I'm wrong. I could, I mean, here's the way to tell. Let's see here. If I go back to code and is that examples, host, Kaypro. I guess this is the one way to see if I was right. Oh no. Ugh. Never mind. Okay, this is why it requires that if you're using an image file, it requires this definition, which you can't read, and I don't expect you to because it's boring as all get out. But basically, the image file, it's got to set an interleave on the disk because apparently Kaypro images are interleaved. But anyways, yeah, it works. I'm gonna leave it. Well, we might have our next problem because, or maybe I didn't plug the keyboard in that great. Okay. All right. Yeah, the keyboard wasn't working. Maybe okay. Maybe it's not plugged in well. Because actually I noticed the caps lock wasn't on. Oh, no. Okay, I see why. Even though I tried to tape it in, it pulled it. Okay, I am going to have to fix the connector on the keyboard. That's the next thing I'm going to do. Now that I've seen it spooting, because I'm using a different cable, Thomas. I'm not trying to use the green cable. I know better than to try to use the green cable. Wow, this boots fast. Why can't my Threadripper boot as fast as this. I mean, watch this. This is like... This puts my Threadripper to shame. Okay, so I'm going to turn it off. At some point, I'm going to put the old floppy controller back in and prove that it was fine. All right. Memory should be discharged. Watch this. Why can't my Threadripper, like, be instant on? Ah, Joey would like to build a Kaypro keyboard. Would love to have all the chip numbers. Yeah, okay. I can get those for you. In fact, I see them right now. Jeremy, I think it's Falcor is how you pronounce it. Or at least Falcor didn't correct me previously when I've said it that way. Of course, I am really bad at pronouncing things. All right. So, what's on this keyboard? It is a, well, actually, I'll move the Kaypro. I'm going to have to work on this, but anyways. So it looks like that is a, 7406. And that is a SN something or other. My phone is blocking my view of it. Okay, I'll have to get that part number. I'll have to pull that on the bench to see. I can't read that chip. And then that's going to be the Mitsubishi M5L 8049. That is quite possibly a microcontroller. That's probably the keyboard encoder. And then that's a 74154N. And it looks like it's there's a 6 megahertz crystal. And yeah, I probably will change those caps out. 1 microfarad, 50 volt. Actually, yeah, I'll recap this because those are just, I think those are both 1 microfarad, 50 volts. That's easy. So the only thing I don't know what it is this one. I can't read it through the phone. Custom CPU. Yeah, okay. I'll and if I forget, ping me. All right, well, let's get this on the table so I can try to get this keyboard connector fixed. Yay, it booted. I guess I'll have to get some Gotex to put in this because I have, well, despite the fact this Gotex looks available, it's actually earmarked for one of my PCs so that I can run software that tries to write. Oh, it's an Intel 8049 clone. Cool. I need to put this in one of my PCs so that if I need to run software that tries to write a disk image, I have found that the Gotex that have the low end artery microcontroller are like nearly useless. They work fine for reading. So they work totally fine if you're trying to read a disk, read a disk image. They also work totally fine if you're just like doing normal file saves where the whatever you're trying to run isn't trying to do track-based operations. However, I have I have a computer that Jeremy gave me. It needed a BIOS update. So the easy part was finding the ROM pack from Compaq to create the disk to update the image. But luckily, Jeremy and I, with a little back and forth, and we were able to figure out a site where I could download it, and it looked legitimate enough. And Jeremy, in fact, if you remember us looking for that one that we found was legit, and that's how I updated that board. The problem was when I tried to run the ROM pack software with a Gotex, and it was one of the Gotex with the, I think it's the Artery 415 microcontroller. the ROM pack creation utility would fail out very quickly after it started trying to write the disk with a disk write error, because it was trying to write, I think it was actually possibly trying to format and write track at a time. And the 415 microcontroller, there's not enough memory in it to do track at a time operations. So, oh, I'm not quitting yet, Falcor. I gotta pull the keyboard up on the bench. So I gotta move the Kaypro out of the way. But anyways, so yet another reason why you probably should get Gotex with the 435 microcontroller. Not to mention that if you need to use the HFE disk format for any computer, which you really need to do if you're doing a TRS-80, then you also need the 435 microcontroller, because otherwise there's not enough RAM to reliably even read enough data off the thumb drive to, oh, that's an MC Hammer song. Oh, sorry. Yes, you're right. I forgot that was actually one of their songs. Okay, oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, yay. It has different colored connectors on it. This is going to be fun. So actually, I was able to get this a replacement connector from DigiKey. And other than the fact that they don't sell the beige color anymore, assuming that actually was beige, because I think it's been broken, this original connector, I think it's been broken long enough that I believe even the broken part has yellowed. So it is quite possible that it is closer to this gray color originally than, but anyways, it's the connector I got from DigiKey is not exact, but I think the important thing is if it'll cooperate, I think the important thing is well, I might have it upside down. Well, I thought the VCF East forums said that this fit. It doesn't quite fit, or maybe the original was taller. Well, anyways. Okay, maybe the original was slightly narrower or something. I don't have enough pieces to glue the original back. So, anyways, that's, oh, well, maybe the, well, that might be close enough. Otherwise, maybe I may have to, okay, I may have to do a little, plastic shaping. It is possible that what I need to do is I may just need to cut off these wings at the top, and then I think it might fit. But anyways, yeah, I could plug my telephone headset into that. But anyways, I'm going to fix the connector. Yeah, I'll file the new one down. So, ideally I would maybe have a pin crimper and pins. And I think I just realized that I have access to a pin crimper that would actually crimp this size pin. But I was ideally tonight I would just kind of replace these pins, because it's really easy to pop these pins out. And I just crimp new pins on the end of this cable and replace it. But I Yeah, I could hacksaw it. I probably have a hacksaw somewhere. A file. Solder and heat shrink. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do because that's the only way I'm going to get it done tonight. But let me also go ahead and pull the, I'm going to pull this board out because I would like to at least give this a little bit of a cleaning. All right. I'm not even going to think about what that was. Yeah, I'll solder and heat shrink it. I think I've got some pretty small heat shrink tube. It should work. I mean, worst comes to worst, I'll put a bigger piece around all four and all right, so some of this I think is rust, and I'm probably not going to do. Oh, actually, maybe that's not rust. It might just be. Okay, some of it probably is rust. Some of it's. Ugh. Yeah, coffee. Coffee. I don't know that it's coffee. I think it's rust. Oh, it could be coffee. Maybe someone spilled coffee on this, and then it got put into storage. But I figure if I'm going to go through the trouble of fixing the keyboard, I might as well at least clean under it. Because that's just pretty grubby. Adam has an idea. Buy a computer that works. Yeah, that would be easier. I've been tempted to do it. One of these days, I'll just buy a working computer. And then hopefully UPS or FedEx won't accelerate it at 100 miles an hour towards my door. Yep. All right. Well, luckily I have plenty of paper towels, even if I am running low on foam swabs and low melt, the SMT removal alloy, although I did order some of that. Yeah, I'll probably be listing some more stuff on eBay and I do have a Paradise video card that I've been triple dog dared to list on eBay, so, well, I guess I got to. Yeah, if I get an, well, Jeremy, the Kaypro is not right for everyone. I'm sure Joe is probably now spitting out his Diet Right or whatever diet soda was on sale this week, and he's probably about to type some random comment in the chat that may or may not have anything to do with the Kaypro is not right for everyone. But anyways, yeah, Adam, I definitely don't blame you for wanting a working Apple III. Those are, I think those are, that is definitely probably a computer that I would probably not buy one that I didn't have. Yeah, I'd probably want a working one too, because those are can be so problematic. Oh, Joe was, uh, inspiration regarding the mess in your basement. Well, Well, you could, I don't know, knock out a wall and build an annex. Hey, I've always seen those houses that have like the old Cold War bunkers in the backyard. Maybe that might be one way that you could expand the museum, is to maybe there's an old Cold War bunker in your backyard that you haven't found yet. And you could just dig a tunnel to that and start putting things there. Or Joe, maybe that room where you have all the stuff that you're storing for your um for whoever it is. Maybe you could clear out enough space in that room to set up a table or two and make that your Titan board manufacturing area. I don't know. Of course, granted, that could be painful when you want to build other things at your workbench, because then now your station's there. But all right, Thomas, we'll see you later. So, oh, oh, wait a minute. I don't know what I was about to say. Whatever. Actually, no, I don't think that one's. Let me see. I'm trying to find. There we go. I don't think I've. See if I can't loosen the grime up a little more, because yes, remember to brush your Kaypro once every 40 years or so. Well, Adam, if I can make it to VCF Midwest, although, yeah, at the moment I don't know if I'll be able to make it or not, but hopefully I will know more than like 1 week in advance. Yeah, I might just have to set a coffee goal and see how much. Actually, I think I think I did see something in the news that might be advantageous. I think the Charlottesville airport is about to start a direct flight to Chicago. So there's at least that. Now, granted, I think it was Chicago. I don't know which airline it is, though. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to get a pizza with you in Chicago, because I've heard they have some of the best pizzas in Chicago. Of course, interestingly enough, I've heard they have the best pizzas in multiple places in the U.S., but then again, I think that comes down to the type of pizza, because I guess it's a Chicago deep dish. Because, and of course, New York, I've heard you get the New York style pizza, and then there's lots of places in Pennsylvania that claim to be the best. And then there's Grotto's Pizza in Newark or New, however you say it. That, despite the fact that I get the distinct impression that they were having a rough weekend at their location when we stopped there coming back from VCF East. It kind of looked like they might have had a recent bar fight in the bathroom. It was actually, yeah, the pizza was great. Even if the bathroom looked like a war zone, that because I kind of think a bar fight might have taken place very recently. Yeah, it was. Yeah, the pizza was really, and the appetizer we got too was really good. I forget, was it the which one did? Actually, I think we got more than one. I really enjoyed the bruschetta. I think it was the bruschetta. Yeah, Newark. Okay, now I kind of feel silly because yep, yes indeed. I just realized there were some rusty, but like, how in the world do I clean the corner? Okay, these are okay. I'm not gonna be able to remove those. They are rusted in place. So new arc. Hey, Dave. Well, Adam, I've been on fewer than 4 flights. I've flown once, and it was not commercial. Well, that is actually, it's not perfect, but that is like, oh wait, I think some of that crud is about to say, I thought I got it, but I think there's a little more crud I can get out of that corner there. There we. Okay, I think some of that might be rust. All right. This side is tremendously cleaner, but still a little bit of dust. Actually, all right. There we go. I think that looks that looks good. Let me see where. Oh, there it is. All right, let me get these before they fall out. All right, I would love to do something about the rusty screws in the keyboard, but Oh, thank you. Oh, woohoo. Thank you to my latest channel supporter, because the chat is not telling me who did it. So, or the chat bot is not revealing your identity. I don't know whether that's because you purposely remained anonymous or because maybe you weren't logged into Coffee, but as a general rule, if I don't see the name in the chat bot, I will presume that you were trying to remain anonymous unless you otherwise identify yourself. Or I think it might have been Dave. Thank you, Dave. If it was you. Yeah, as a general rule, though, I have to assume that if I don't see a name, that person might have wanted to remain anonymous, because you can tell Coffee to not reveal your identity. So if anyone ever wants to give a Coffee donation or tip or whatever the terminology is, and you want to remain anonymous, you need not fear. Just I believe if you tell Coffee you want to be anonymous, or you just do it without signing into your Coffee account, then, well, I will not see a name in the chat bot to read, and you will remain anonymous as you wish. So, also, as a side note, if you didn't intend to remain anonymous and I don't say your name, it's because the chat bot didn't give me one, and we are, of course, more than welcome to admit to who you are in the chat if that's the case. So, yes, thank you, Dave. I will probably... Well, I definitely have a list of supplies I need, so I will put that to good use. All right. Well, the keyboard inside certainly looks tremendously better. It's not perfect, but I think that's because some of that is actually rust. So I probably will take this apart again at some point and maybe try to put some rust preventer, or maybe I might spray paint the bottom of that with something just to kind of keep the rust from spreading. But maybe I might see if I can someday find a paint match and paint. Actually, I think there is a color code for the Kaypro paint, because Kaypro actually did sell touch-up paint, because the computer's cases is metal. Ah, well, Adam, that's also definitely appreciated. So I do also appreciate parts. So yes. So yeah, I also do. So I'll let you know if there's any parts that I could use. In fact, I think there was something the other day we thought of, but whatever. All right, I kind of would also like to somewhat clean the keyboard. I am not going. I do have my limits. I do not want to desolder the switches to actually pull this metal plate out. But I am going to... I think it is all aluminum except the screws. I think you're right. Although this might actually be, like, the keyboard might actually be steel too. I think I had a magnet here somewhere. I am actually kind of Okay, let me see if I can find. I've got an actual magnet here somewhere. The tip of my screwdriver was kind of somewhat attracted to that steel because I think this is a steel plate. I think the screws are steel. I think the rest of it is aluminum. So you're right. If it's aluminum, then it's probably more like a tarnish, and I don't need to paint it. This plate, though, I am somewhat concerned about. So let me get my keycap puller, and I'm also trying to find the magnet that I thought I had around here. Eric is wrapping up. Cool. So I put the magnet on your discs. Yes, I love putting the magnet on my discs. Okay, I am probably going to take this keyboard apart later because looking at 10 o'clock, I kind of so there is a little bit of rust on this plate. I think it might be limited to the corner here. I think under the keys it's just dirty. The keycaps need a wash. These keycaps might actually be slightly yellowed, but oh, okay. Correction. Those keys are yellowed. At some point, I'll probably attempt to fix that, although I'm not the biggest of retro bright people. But I don't know. If I can find anything online that says yeah, Kaypro plastic's not like really finished, because there are some computers are plastic is it'll model if you try to retro bright it just because of the plastic they used. Okay, yeah. I need to get some 99% IPA because what I have is 91%. So yeah, IPA in a spray bottle. Yeah, that would work. I think I'm not going to bother pulling these keys tonight to clean under this. I am though going to go ahead and no, I'm not. I was about to say I was going to go ahead and recap the keyboard because I thought I had the caps, but I actually don't have this value here because that's actually 33 microfarad, and I definitely don't have that value. Also, this component here that I couldn't read through my smartphone is a SN75451. Yeah, SN75451. Pretty sure that's what that says. That doesn't make that. Okay, that's a weird part number. Oh yeah, SN75451BP. Okay, yeah, I was right. Yep, there's that one chip that I couldn't read. 30-volt dual output driver with AND inputs. Okay. Yep. And then yeah, so that's the chip. So it's a 7406. that SN75451, this custom controller, and then a 74154, 6 megahertz crystal. Couple caps, couple resistors, couple diodes. Actually, I'm looking under this keyboard. It looks like there's diodes. Huh. It looks like there's diodes at least on every row of keys. So maybe this keyboard has decent... Well, it actually feels pretty good. I mean, it's not Alp switches, but it's definitely not a foam and foil. Okay, well, I'm not going to recap this tonight. Oh, I do need to replace the connector. All right, let me find where the parts fell. Because unfortunately, I think the parts fell on the floor. All right, let's see here. There's the replacement. And... All right, and I got to find the original part. Okay. Which also fell on the floor somewhere. I think. Okay. Okay. Hold please while I try to find the original cable that has the connector on it that... Well, I found the RAM DAC chip that I dropped the other day. Okay. Now I'm waiting for Apple to come out with the incredibly tiny AirTag that you can put on the part components in your vintage computer so that when you knock one off your workbench, that you can say, hey, Flurb Nerb, or whatever funny name you might give to your device. Tell me where I knocked the keyboard connector to, and Siri will, of course, respond, why are you dealing with a wired keyboard? Why don't you just buy the wireless keyboard? Yeah. Ooh, cool. Yeah, those are yellow keys. Yep. Let's see. Adam got a Lisa board from Will. Part of it has a crazy 33-volt output, and it has a fan spot. Steve Jobs will come. come. Yeah, Steve Jobs will haunt you for plugging in a fan to the Lisa. Because Steve Jobs was not a fan of fans. Oh, there's the connector. It didn't actually fall on the floor. It was hanging off of something at the edge of my workbench. Okay. So, the color code on the new wire is different than the old one. But it looks like it might just be yellow instead of white wire. But let me double check that. Because I think there's a fairly standard color code. But I'm not going to assume. I don't want to damage my Kaypro. I mean, if this was a Mac Plus or something and I got the keyboard cable wrong, I mean, not like Apple designed it to self-destruct the keyboard microcontroller when you plug the wrong keyboard cable in. Oh, wait, they did. Okay, so I think... Alright, so red is that connector. And then I think the next one is white wire. And then the next one's the green wire. And then the black wire. Oops. Okay. All right. So it is going to be red, white, green, black. So if I hold this connector the same way, then oh, I think the color code is completely different. Yellow. Oh, all right. Hold on. I definitely need to double check this because I think. All right. I'm probably going to have to do these one at a time. Okay, yellow. So on the new connector, it's yellow, green, red. Yeah, it looks like it's yellow, green, red, black on the new one. Yellow, green, red, black. And on the old one, it is red, white, green, black. Well, talk about not using any sort of standard colors whatsoever at all. All right. All right. Thank you, Adam. Good night. All right. Let's see here. This is called How Will Justin Manage to Get This Wrong? Because I think all the wires are completely different. All right, at least I got some heat shrink tubing. All right, and did I turn the power to the solder station on? Yes, I did. All right. Hi, Ryan. You've just tuned in to see me probably get things completely wrong because of the what does these Sloopies? Oh, what doesn't use standard colors? Yeah, I thought phone jacks used a standard color code for the pins, but apparently I thought wrong because I can very clearly see that I think whoever made this new connector put the wire colors in a wire color blender and or drew colors out of a hat. It's like, okay, pin 1 is going to be yellow and pin 2 is green. Whereas on the old connector, pin 1 is red and pin 2 is white. So oh, Joe says the colors on the new connector are correct for telco. Okay. Well, the colors on the original Kaypro jack are not correct for telco. I guess they're correct for Kaypro. All right. This is why I will go one at a time. I'm going to leave the leads on the new cable extra long because it should be fine. Well, Joe, if you were writing a Wikipedia article, you would be an authoritative source, and yet Wikipedia would still make you cite a source. Oh yeah. Yes, that's true. Yep. Okay. Well, at least the one good thing is the the keyboard connector on the Kaypro keyboard has a connector or a plug on it. So, and the cool thing is, I ordered two of these. So if I do ever run across the pin crimper to crimp pins for this connector, then I can always redo it. Assuming I think this is too short. Although it's probably fine. Alright. I'm going to leave things plenty long because I have a tendency of messing up when trying to solder wires together. Although this time for sure, because I recently watched I think it's a Chris Fix video, maybe? Where he had to do some soldering of wires in a car. And he did two things that I don't think I usually do because I forget, and that was he used flux and he pre-tinned the leads. So I am going to try both things. I will use flux and I am going to pre-tin the leads. Alright, so I think it was Chris Fix. It could have been Johnny DIY. It was one of the two of them. I'm pretty sure it was Chris Fix. Okay, so I am going to use Chip Quick Flux, which seems completely wrong to use on tinning wires, but actually, you know, I think I've got some actually, let me not use tacky. Actually, this might be tacky flux too. I'm going to use this stuff. Oh, if I can. Oh, well, that's fun. Will the flux come out of the hole at the end of the tube that's meant for dispensing? No. Will the flux come out the end of the tube that is supposed to have been sealed? Yes. Alright, fine. I knew there was a reason why I wasn't using this. It's because the tube's broken. Well, I guess waste not, want not. Well, I did cut the tip, Ryan. It's still not coming out of the tip. Okay, granted, maybe I didn't cut the tip low enough. But anyways, okay, let me zoom in so you all can see what I'm doing. Not that low because it won't focus. Okay, so I'm going to put some solder on soldering iron, and then I'm going to try to, there we go, in the leads, and then I'm going to turn on the fan that'll make some noise. Alright. Well, that's actually, There we go. Okay. Those are pre-tinned. And let me do the same for these. Yeah, I guess for this tube of flux that I probably won't use much because the tube is broken. I guess I'd rather there only be one hole in the tube for flux to come out of than two, so personal preference. And there we go. And right, there we go. So those are pre-tinned. All right. So now I'm going to look at the old connector to remember the order. So red goes to yellow. If this was a snake, then hopefully it doesn't bite you. After all, the saying goes, red and yellow could kill a fellow. Red and black, venom lack. This has been Justin's animal knowledge that hopefully you never have to use. Tune in next time when we'll figure out how not to get eaten by the bear that keeps rummaging through trash cans in your neighborhood. Stay inside. Red on black, Return of the Mac. Good one, Ron. Okay, let's see. The next one is green, and green goes to the white wire. All right. Yes. Yes, it would be great if the old and the new colors lined up, but they don't. So, well. Alright, this is always the problem I have. The first one goes swimmingly well, and then the next ones can't seem to get the wires to twist together. Alright. Well, I guess maybe I'll just have to, Well, okay. That. Oh, that didn't. Okay, let's try this again. Maybe I just need to strip a little more insulation, maybe? And get it off the wire. There we go. Okay, I think I got it off. Alright, let's see. Now will that give me enough? There we go. I got it now. There we go. There we go. Alright, I think that'll be good. Well, may not look the prettiest, but it'll at least be electrically good. Alright, so the red wire goes to the green wire. The new red wire goes to the old green wire, to be more accurate. New red wire goes to the old green wire. Alright. And by process of elimination, and by sheer, probably coincidence, or probably because it's actually a return of some sort, the black wire actually goes to the black wire. Now, obviously, if you order a replacement connector for your Kaypro keyboard, I would not assume any pinout, including that it's the same as the one I just did, unless, of course, you order the same DigiKey part number I did, then it probably is the same color code. Alright, so it's not the prettiest, but it will, with some heat shrink tubing, you'll never know, and should be fine. Alright, I don't have, I kind of would have probably preferred to at least put, oh, wait a minute, that, okay, the first thing I did want to do is at least clean the flux off the cable. Then I'll heat shrink tube it. Although I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world because I'll I mean, if I do figure out I have access to a pin crimper for that connector, I'll probably crimp pins on the other connector I have and do it that way. Alright, so I'm going to do the immerse and shake it and get the flux off that way method, and then I'll take a paper towel and do that, and there we go. That's just a little better. In all reality, it's probably fine if there's a little flux left over, but alright. And now I'll put this heat shrink tubing over my lovely solder joints that need hidden. Also, don't want anything to short. And now I will turn on my hot air gun, which is set to 200 degrees Celsius, I believe. And that should oh. There we go. Alright. Got a repaired connector. Let me clean up my mess here. They say this is no clean flux, but I find that you have to clean up behind it. Alright. Alright. I think I can turn the fan off. And I can turn that off. Alright, let me do a little bit of cleanup here. Clean up my mess. I'm going to hold on to the original connector as a pinout reference. And sorry about getting a song stuck in your head, Jeremy. Don't know which one it is. But, alright. So I will get the keyboard, the rest of the keyboard later at a time where I'll actually pull the keycaps off, clean underneath the keys with some isopropyl, some 99% isopropyl, which I think I've got some in my next subscribe and save shipment, so I don't need to order it. I'll just have to wait for my subscribe and save delivery day, which I think's the 23rd. That way I can at least save a little bit on. Okay, Let me attach the ground lead because that's probably required. Plug in this side of the connector. After bring it with contact cleaner to get the flux off the end of the connector. All right, so let's see here. Plug that in. Luckily, this connector is keyed. I'll put the rest of the cables on later. Kind of would like to see if I can't maybe get this connector to fit better. So I'm going to take the flush cutters and cut these wings off flush. I don't think the original connector had them, at least as far as I can tell. And actually, it did a pretty good job of it. And now I think the connector will. Oh, okay. And all right, I'll probably have to do this with the it looks like the old connector was more like this, so that a little bit of it could push down. All right, well, okay, I will probably have to file that down some. I'll probably have to take the Dremel and kind of work the end of this housing just a little bit to get it to where it'll fit down in this notch. I don't think it's going in far enough for me to be able to put the top of the keyboard on, but for now, I can at least push it down far enough that it shouldn't. I think it'll stay in place for testing. Anyways, all right, let me put that on my keyboard drawer. Let me find the cable I was using. Ah, all right. Don't know if you heard that click, but that was certainly nice. Having the keyboard securely plug in on the keyboard side of the connector. All right, and here's the keyboard on the Kaypro side. Oh, power. I will totally try to, I would like to maybe RGB to HDMI mod this too. There's plenty of openings in the case where I could pass a small cable out. Not even have to cut any holes. Because the video signal coming off the motherboard is it's composite with separate horizontal and vertical sync. So it should totally be something I can plug into a RGB to HDMI. Maybe that's overkill. I like good video quality for if I ever do a video on this. So, power it up. And as soon as the CRT is warmed up, we're in CPM. This is like amazingly fast. Oh, and it's amazingly out of focus. There we go. Wow, look at that. Let's see here. What's a good program to run? SBasic? I like how the drive indicator, the drive letter blinks while it's loading. Oh, that's a compiler. That's no fun. Where's BASIC? I guess that's on a different disk. Okay, well, Ed. DDoS error on R select. Whatever. Well, that, fine, we'll control C out of that. I don't know what that error means. Can I not run any programs? Huh, if I had the second floppy drive plugged in, I could try to format a disk. It works though. It lives. I mean, the screen looks pretty good. I mean, granted, I probably at some point should recap the analog board. There's the power supply I fixed. The screen looks pretty good. I could use a cleaning. I'll bring up my. There's like some smudge on the top of the screen, but yeah, no scratches. The screen's pretty good. I think Thomas Armstrong sent me the files to print some Gotek adapters. Keyboard could use a cleaning. But yeah, I get to Gotek in it. This is great. Run stat. And if I'm reading that right, I think there's 3K of space on that disk. Use pip. Use pip to copy con to a file. I don't know how to use pip. Long-time computer repairer, first-time CPM user. The only commands here that I think I know what they do. I thought I knew what ed was, but apparently not. I think I know what format does. That's about the only one I'm sure of now. Because apparently SBasic is a compiler. And I thought ed was editor, but when I ran it, it gave a weird error. So yeah, I don't know what any of this does except pip destination source. Ed is a horse. Well, Jeremy, I know if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But when I first powered this up, finally got it to power up, that seemed like the analog board was having slight troubles. But maybe the caps just needed to reform. Anyways, this is actually pretty good. I'm certainly happy with well, oh, that's right. There was something I did want to do. If I can find it. Because chips like to run away when they're afraid I'm going to put them back. Oh, actually, here we go. Okay, so I bought the floppy controller because I thought the floppy controller in this Kaypro was busted. Does this turn out that this is a case of I should have asked the Joe Discord a question? Quite possible that I should have maybe put on Joe's Discord like, hey Joe, I got a Kaypro. When I power it up, the floppy drive just keeps spinning around and around and around and around and around. It's not doing anything. Joe would have been like, did you put a disc in it? No. Put a disc in it. Place it with Gotex. So anyways, let's put the original floppy controller back in and see what happens. Because I have had to replace 0 logic chips in this Kaypro. And I would like to see if well, okay. Let's see if the total of chips needed to be replaced is 0. I'm not going to say semiconductors because I did replace a few of the rectifiers in the power supply because they were the glass type that are fragile. The old 70s style rectifier. So I did replace those just because I was afraid handling them might have broken them. But and what do you know? That floppy controller was not bad. Well, I guess I do have a spare floppy controller for whatever I might need it for. I mean, I do have my eye on another Kaypro on eBay. Don't know if I'm actually going to get it. The auction ends in like a little over an hour. At the moment, I'm kind of hesitating to buy it just yet, but I don't know. Probably, let's see here. Let me check something. I need some supplies more than I need another Kaypro at the moment. Although it is a Kaypro 2X. Which means that it has the half-height drives, and I think the 2X might even support high-density drives, which would be pretty cool. Dumps memory content to the screen. Oh. I don't know the parameters for dump right offhand. I think I'll have to, I would really like to find a way to get the Kaypro screen on the stream without me having to hold the phone in one hand, because that it's kind of hard to hold the phone in one hand and type with both hands. Not that I type with both hands, really. Yeah, this is cool. So all I gotta do is, well, I guess probably just practically replace both floppy drives with Gotex. Which means I need to buy some Gotex. Which means I'll just have to add those to the list of things I need to buy. So NTSC capture might work. Joe, I'll need to combine the sync signals. I don't have anything to combine the sync signals. Dump 0100. It's telling me no input file present on disk. And I keep, oh, why can't I? Oh. Okay, seriously. I will install this DroidCam plugin at some point. But yeah, this is that's what it told me. Run them through a 74 LS86. I'll have to get a 74 LS86. I don't think I have any. And would I be running the sync signals through a 74 LS86 along with the video signal, or is that just the two sync signals? I guess that would just be the sync signals. I mean, I think I might be able to plug in RGB to HDMI into those three signals and not have to do any logic chip combining. I just need to find a way to split the signals. Because I think the RGB to HDMI can do separate sync. This week you got in two CenterTech SY6545-1 chip CRT controllers for the Kaypro. Dave just bought a V2 SCSI from jcm-1.com. Yeah, I think I'll just use the RGB to HDMI and have it do separate sync. I'll set up if I have to, I'll set up a profile and share it. Well, if I, assuming it doesn't have a profile built in, I will see about setting up a profile for the Kaypro, but I got to find a way to split the signal so I can still see the CRT, because I don't know what the Kaypro will do. I don't know what it'll do if I don't have that cable plugged in. I presume the analog board would just not create high voltage without any sync signals. I presume it would not be able to create high voltage. But I'd like to do it in a way where I can have the case closed. I'm looking at the CRT, but on the stream you see the capture output. So I may make a little adapter doodle board that goes in line with that connector to let me split off a copy of it, which maybe means I might get a I don't know if there's like a buffer chip or something I can put between it to protect the. Yeah, I'll split the signals and run them to head or to the back. So I'll figure out what I need to do. That's not a tonight problem. That's a later problem. But yeah, this is great. I never thought a Kaypro would boot faster than my Threadripper. Of course, then again, I guess it's geared to just boot the operating system off the disk. Oh, hey Thomas. I got a new connector on the Kaypro keyboard. It doesn't look the prettiest, but I got the new connector on so I can plug the cables in. They're not falling out. I gotta whittle the connector down. But yeah, the Kaypro boots. So I got the Gotek. I got the boot disk one, and the Kaypro boots, and the keyboard works. So it's the grimiest keyboard in the world. I got to pull the keycaps off and clean them, and I got to retro bright the numeric keypad because these keys are quite yellowed, but I'll probably replace these two very sad caps at some point, but I don't have both values. But yeah, it boots. It's running things. It works. Oh, you cannot hear Oh. Okay, well, Thomas, if you can't hear, then at least you'll be able to see. So, yeah, I got it booting. And the original floppy controller works. So, yeah. So, anyways, I think unlike my normal streaming night where I get convinced to go till 12 o'clock plus, I think tonight I'm going to kind of wrap it up pretty soon now because, well, yeah, I think I didn't want to do much else tonight. I kind of wanted to see if really, I wanted to test the floppy controller and get the keyboard working. So I've done everything I wanted to. So I now know that the Kaypro works. No logic chips needed to be replaced on the motherboard, which is amazing. Then again, I guess they don't build them like they used to. I need to get some Gotex. Coffee.com/JDMCS. I'll put tips towards some Gotex because I don't have enough. Um, all right, I will I'll search for that, Joey. Oh, there we go. Starts on page 3-139. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I see what this is. 3-1. If I can find the page. 3-1. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. I see. It's the CRT controller for the Kaypro. Yeah. All right. Yeah, this is what Joey was sharing. So it's the CRT controller datasheet for the. This is the CRT controller in the Kaypro, which I think if I look at the main board, I think. Assuming. I think that's probably going to be that chip there. It has to be. Um, because right there, I think that's the character ROM. I think that's the CRT controller. Because that's the floppy controller. These are the like peripheral controllers, and that's the Z80 or Z80 for the Canadians out there. So I think that right there is that chip, and Joey's pointed out the data sheet for it. Cool. Which actually, oh, okay. And actually, I see the outputs on the chip. So, yeah, and I need a crane to move Bertha. And of course, now everyone's like, "What's Bertha?" Okay, I guess since we're doing good on time, I think I'll spoil something here since I'm so backlogged on videos and okay, so we're going to take a little walk around. All right. So, I know you probably can't hear me very well from over here. Yes, a little field trip. Bertha is a compact ProLiant server. I think Bertha is like 6U tall. Because it sure seems to be taller than 4U. I've seen plenty of 4U servers. I think Bertha is 6U tall, has 8 Pentium 3 Xeon processors, can support up to 16 gigabytes of RAM, I believe. I need to get some, I think they're registered ECC SD RAM. I found some at a cheap price, but luckily I didn't buy them because they were for Sun, and Sun used a proprietary memory interface. It has like 20 bazillion PCI slots of various types, and yeah, it weighs a ton. Did I forget to change the input? Now I feel... Did I once again forget to change the input? Seriously? Okay. Okay. Let's try this again. All right. Hold please while I walk over to where the server is. Okay. I pretty sure you saw it that time. I even pulled the memory card out. Yeah. That's Bertha. That's one of the computers Jeremy dropped off when he came. It required the both of us in a cart. What is going wrong? I know I turned on Droid Cam. Oh. Joe. It's a compact ProLiant server. I got to get some SCSI drives for it. I got to get, or at least the caddies for it. I can maybe use Blue SCSI. I got to, well, it's got some RAM in it. I'd like to max it out with maximum RAM. Oh, hey, Mikey. Yeah, it's got like 8 Pentium 3 Xeon processors. I think they're clocked at 800 megahertz. Jeremy, the reason why the audio was muted is because there's no way you all were going to hear me over there. I didn't say anything. It was a show and then tell when I walked back over here to the microphone. So, yeah. Yeah. Oh, 700 megahertz, excuse me. Okay, I knew it was lots of megahertz times 8. The cool thing is, I think the server Pentium 3s are new enough that I think I could download the latest Ubuntu server LTS release, and I bet I could get it to boot on that server, assuming it has drive, because I don't know that it has USB. If it does have USB, I don't know if it's bootable USB, because that's kind of early. Maybe it is bootable, but I bet Ubuntu server would run on it, because I think Pentium 3 is new enough. Now, how fast? I don't know. It's got 8 processors. And even if the latest Ubuntu doesn't run, I don't think I'd have to go back too far. Hey, Eric. So anyways, yeah, that's Bertha. Someday. I think I did look on the power supply. I believe there's a bug bugging me. Okay, I think the bug is no longer bugging me. I think I can plug in Bertha as long as I only plug in one of the 2 power supplies. However, I got to figure out how to remove them because I'm going to inspect them before I plug them in. But there's redundant power supplies, but according to the rating on the power supply, I can plug one in and we're good. I don't have enough outlets down in the basement to plug both in. Also, I'd love to be able to figure out how to pull the drawer out the rest of the way to actually check the processors, but it might be because I've got the back open that the front might not be able to open as far. I had trouble trying to push the back in. I think I need to lubricate the slides or whatnot that it slides on. So anyways, that's kind of a sneak peek of one of the computers Jeremy brought me. I've been working on kind of cleaning up one of the other ones to so that they're nice and presentable. I did, Jeremy, I did figure out the microcode issue with the compact. I think I told you, I think it was on Dave's stream. But anyways, I figured out the microcode issue. Later, Joe. So I think if I can find the correct 1 gigahertz Pentium 3 at the right price, then I will be able to fix the problem completely. But I at least have it fixed with a correct stepping but slower Pentium 3 processor. I bought one on eBay real cheap because I wanted to validate the fix was correct before committing to a 1 gigahertz correct stepping, because actually at the time I wasn't totally sure, but anyways, yeah. So right now I got a 733 megahertz processor in the motherboard, but it is the correct stepping and the microcode. I'm not getting the microcode error. Yeah, Jeremy, or Adam, it is... I mean, it is as fixed as I'm going to be able to get it tonight. What is not fixed as I keep... Hey, Will Jr. 880. Yeah, I was about to wrap the stream because I kind of got to where I intended to. But there you go. So, I'm using the GoTech. That is the original floppy controller, because it turns out there was nothing wrong with it. And it's booting Kaypro, the CPM from the disk I downloaded. So yeah, the keyboard's dirty, but the keyboard works. I got the new connector soldered on. So yeah, I just kind of gotta whittle this down so I can push it in all the way. I'm gonna clean the keyboard, but I'm not gonna do that tonight. But yeah, it's reading the GoTech. I think if I could create a disk, I suspect the floppy drive probably works. But the GoTech's way easier. In fact, I think the GoTech boots like really fast. I mean, watch this. I'm gonna hit the reset button. Boom. I mean, this thing boots into CPM faster than my Threadripper can boot into Windows 10. In fact, I think this thing boots into CPM faster than my Threadripper can get through the BIOS part of the boot process before it boots Windows 10. And maybe part of it's the GoTech, because I think the GoTech, as soon as the Kaypro sends a step to the next track, the GoTech's like done. But yeah, So anyways, yeah, that's the Kaypro. So it's done for tonight. Floppy drive via the GoTech Works. I was able to boot it. Got a keyboard connector on. So yeah, great, great. Where I kind of wanted to conclude it. So I'll wait for a nice day where I can clean the keys in soapy water and then set them outside to dry, where I don't feel like if I step outside, I'm going to start sneezing and coughing, because the Canadian wildfire smoke is actually making its way far enough south that it was very hazy today. And in fact, I sure thought it smelled of wildfire smoke, despite the fact that the fires are far north. Now, granted, was there maybe a wildfire in our area and that's where the smell was coming from? Maybe, but yeah. So, anyways, yeah. Hopefully, maybe that will dissipate and I'll actually be able to do some cleanup work, because the days are starting to get long enough. If we have a sunny weekend day and I can get up early enough and put things out to retrobrite, I do certainly have a couple things I'd like to try to retrobrite. Probably starting with these Kaypro keys, because it's blue plastic, so I think I got a little more grace to as opposed to if it was beige plastic. So, and I'd kind of like to get the Kaypro back together completely. But for now, this is great. It boots. It'll boot from a GoTech. Thomas Armstrong sent me 3D print files, so I guess I will put some 3D printers to work. Luckily there's some 3D printers I can use at work to print some brackets, so I will probably start printing some GoTech brackets. Hopefully we'll be able to get some GoTechs soon, and we'll actually be able to mount GoTechs in the Kaypro, kind of get things tidied up, figure out where in the world the screws go, because I took this thing apart so badly. Note to self, I need to get some of those pill things, so when I take computers apart, I can put the screws in the pill containers in order. That'll be way better than what I normally do, which is like take it apart, put all the screws in minimal containers, and then scratch your head later when it's weeks or months later when you finally put it all back together again and you're like, where'd all the screws go? Although, at least, yeah, it could be like my Amiga 1000, where I took it all apart and did a really bad job organizing the screws, and then I go to put it back together and realize that, oh, there were actually screws missing from it when I took it apart. So, I'm like, yeah, there's like screws missing from it. So, anyways, I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and close the stream out, because I only really wanted to work on the Kaypro. There's not really enough time for me to start on anything else. Also, for my Thursday stream, I have some Macintosh logic boards to work on, and I will go longer. I'll probably go till midnight on Thursday at least, but tonight I was hoping to not go till midnight. So anyways, with that, I'm going to make sure I have my finger on the correct thing to click on. Like to wish everyone a great rest of your evening. Thanks for joining in. Take care, and I hope to see you Thursday, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. Bye. Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon, and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you've liked what you've seen, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or live stream. And as always, thank you for all your support. I hope to see you next time. And until then, take care.